something that's not going away. And, you know, I've spoken to people about this at a very senior level, and it's not going to go away. And they can play ostrich till they're blue in the face. It's ultimately, they are either going, well, I suppose if William accedes to the throne without a problem, and he doesn't travel with his children, there will be no foreseeable problem. But if they continue traveling en bloc, there is a valid ongoing concern as to the fact that you can have Harry and Meghan on the throne, which I think would be the end of the monarchy. But then you would also have Archie and Lilibet in the immediate line of succession, way in front of everybody else who was born without any queries. And Meghan's conduct and Harry's conduct are the things that have created these questions.
And Lady Colin Campbell has got the world to wake up to a very important issue. And it's an issue that the mainstream media has refused to touch. It's one the Royal Rota has refused to touch. They talk about it privately, and this is something I realised since going independent. Very often, Westminster is having conversations. The royal household is having conversations. The journalists at Buckingham Palace or in the Houses of Commons are having conversations, but they hide them from the public. And I was not prepared to do that on Outspoken. So that's why over the course of the year, I have tried to seek answers on a very important but controversial question, which is the birth and the place in the line of succession of Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. There are so many questions that could be very simply resolved by either Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, or Buckingham Palace. The fact they refuse to do so, I believe, makes Archie and Lilibet's place in the line of succession highly questionable. And in this interview with Lady Colin Campbell, she outlines why, and she outlines the work that she has previously done on this.
Look, let me ask the question that everyone wants to know.
Mhm.
Does Buckingham Palace have questions to answer regarding the births of Archie and Lilibet, the children of Harry and Meghan, and potentially whether they should not be in the line of succession? Which, let's be honest, this is a difficult question, but it's a question that has constitutional implications and is surely in the public interest.
Well, it certainly does have constitutional implications, and it is in the national interest. I think the matter should be cleared up one way or the other. Of course, you can't blame the palace for the mess because they didn't create it. And, you know, they have found themselves caught up in what they regard as a no-win situation. And on the face of it, it is a no-win situation for them because Meghan and I suspect to an extent Harry have also played things so cannily that the palace are, they think if they do, they die. If they don't, they still die. But I don't think that's actually true. I think they should beat Harry and Meghan at their game. And the matter should be cleared up. You know, the citizens of this country have an absolute right to know that anybody in the line of succession has a valid place there. And there should be no doubt whatsoever. And if the participants have created a doubt, which Meghan and Harry have certainly created, whether you could say that the doubt is a valid one or not is another matter altogether. And I need to say that for legal reasons, as you will know only too well. But, you know, it's their conduct, hers especially, but he has been collusive in all of this. And yes, I think that this is something that's not going away. And, you know, I've spoken to people about this at a very senior level, and it's not going to go away. and they can play ostrich till they're blue in the face. It's ultimately they are either going, well, I suppose if William accedes to the throne without a problem and he doesn't travel with his children, there will be no foreseeable problem. But if they continue traveling en bloc, there is a valid ongoing concern as to the fact that you can have Harry and Meghan on the throne, which I think would be the end of the monarchy, but then you would also have Archie and Lilibet in the immediate line of succession, way in front of everybody else who was born without any queries. And Meghan's conduct and Harry's conduct are the things that have created these questions. And I think it is in the interest of the British Crown and the British people that this be addressed very straightforwardly. Provide the proof to the world that those children were, well, let me rephrase that. I want to be careful how I put this. Provide the proof to the world that those children were born in such a way that no questions can be asked, which means they have to provide absolute proof that Meghan bore those children and was delivered of those children herself. Failing which, this is not going away, and it's thanks to Meghan's conduct and the way she has conducted herself that these questions have arisen in the first place. And it is insupportable that in a democratic society where this is a constitutional monarchy, and let us remember, this is a constitutional monarchy that is actually not the true line, because the true King of England is the Duke in Bavaria. So this is a constitutional parachuted monarchy. It was parachuted in 1689, and there are many people who actually in the line of succession have a far greater right to the present king than he does. And all of this needs to be cleared up, because if it's a constitutional monarchy that was effectively imposed upon the nation by Parliament, there are rules and regulations that exist. And until 1936, you had always the Home Secretary witnessing the birth, and nobody would ever have conceived that any member of the royal family would ever marry so inappropriately that the conduct of a spouse of a member of the royal family, a woman, would actually cause these questions to validly arise. I think the whole thing stinks to high heaven, and I for one, am sick and tired of being hounded by people about this. And I'm sure if I'm sick of it, there are others who are even far more sick of it. But it's not going away. And they can completely put their heads in the sand and think it's going to go away. It's not going away. It's never going to go away until they provide, the palace provides proof who the doctors were, all signed off, everything signed off. And if they can't do that, because we have a right to know that who is closely in the line of succession is entitled to it. And if they can't do that, I'm afraid those children should be removed from the line of succession forthwith. It's a simple event.
Historically, there's a reason why the Home Secretary used to witness royal births. Having read your book cover to cover, my impression is that you have personal doubts, having done your investigation, about whether at least one of the children was born naturally.
Well, Meghan's conduct throughout and you know, the way she has performed during her pregnancies has certainly caused tremendous doubt for many people. I've had doctors, nurses, endless women who have given birth in touch with me. They get in touch with me. I don't get in touch with them. I have friends who have given birth repeatedly. And Meghan's performance has been so unique. Now, I'm not saying that she didn't give birth to those children. I'm saying that her conduct has created the doubt that she did give birth to them. And we, as citizens of this country, have an absolute right to know that our future king and queen are entitled to sit on the throne. It's as simple as that. And this is not a family matter. This is a constitutional matter. And I have nothing against those children being Lord and Lady or whatever Windsor. They're entitled to have the full function of adoptive or surrogate children with all the honors that go along with that. My 2 children are adopted. I have nothing against children being entering a family via adoption or surrogacy or anything else. But I certainly do have something against us, the British people, having two figures in the line of succession whose mother's conduct has led to the doubt that they actually are entitled to being in the line of succession. It couldn't be simpler. They need to have, the purpose of the Home Secretary was that there would be no warming pan incident ever again, and no sleight of hand, that no bastard, which is the legal term, that no bastard would be able to be acceding to the throne unjustly. And why should Eugenie, Beatrice, Peter Phillips, Zara Phillips, all of them be knocked out of the line of succession for 2 children whose arrival has been cloaked in cloak and dagger secrecy, and whose legal mother has behaved in such a way that valid doubts as to their means of arrival have been raised. It's as simple as that. It couldn't be simpler.
Now, I've received so many questions on this, Lady C, from Outspoken members, so I want to put a couple of them to you.
But first, we've partnered with Gundry MD to share this information with you. Would you believe me if I told you inside your pantry right now is one of the healthiest foods on the planet? Yep, it's true, and it's not some weird, trendy superfood. Spoiler alert, it's olive oil. You've probably used it for cooking, but there are countless ways to use olive oil to help yourself look and feel younger. For example, olive oil is a natural way to help you achieve a more youthful appearance. Besides helping you look younger on the outside, it's a fantastic tool for your insides as well. According to Dr. Stephen Gundry, a famous cardiothoracic surgeon, nutrition expert, and health advocate, you should get as much high-quality olive oil into your daily routine as possible. Whether it's taking a shot of it daily or keeping a bottle of it in your bathroom medicine cabinet. But what kind of olive oil is best for your health, I hear you ask? Well, any olive oil can give you some benefits. But if you're looking to get the best results, it matters a lot which one you pick. And the olive oil industry is really huge. You can tell, you will have seen in the supermarkets, so many brands. And you can bet they're not all made with the consumer in mind. And many brands may even cut corners one way or another to increase profits. So when Dr. Gundry came to that realization, he was rightly appalled. But some olive oils are so powerful, it may only take a few tablespoons a week to see these incredible health benefits. So, how can you tell between an olive oil that can be a health booster and one which isn't up to par? In an effort to answer that question for us, Dr. Gundry has decided to take a stand and release his personal research and findings. This video has gone viral since its release, and it's important you see it so you can start benefiting immediately. So you can watch the video right now by heading to getolive1.com/outspoken, or you can just click in the link in the description box below. I'll repeat it for you though. That's getolive1.com/outspoken, or just click on the link in the description box below. People who have taken his advice have shared their results with him, saying the olive oil they bought after learning his simple rules have helped change their life for the better. So make sure you go to getolive1.com/outspoken or click on the link in the description box below this video. But now, back to the show.
Jan Kitching asks, if the general public knew of the rumours, why did it suddenly go quiet and not gain traction? Was this another Biden laptop-style cover-up by the MSM? Did Sussex squad members take some action? Did Harry and Meghan issue some sort of gagging orders, or was it all three?
I am not aware of any gagging order. If there were a gagging order,
I'm not aware either.
No, so I don't think there was a gagging order. Oh, I think the mainstream media are terrified because Harry and Meghan have been suing them left, right, and centre, and until all those cases are resolved, they wouldn't want to address this because of the financial implications. Also, many of them are cowardly, to be dead blunt about it, and they don't want to embarrass themselves or their employers. And, you know, some of their employers will want to be able to go to lunch at Buckingham Palace once every 25 years. Well, you know what that game is like. And so there's all of that going on. But I think a lot of it is fear and cowardice. And also,
I agree.
It's unprovable, you know, because the whole thing is covered in opacity, but it's also covered in contradiction, and it's also covered in inconsistency.
Well, of course, because Lady C, you'll remember the birth of Archie. I was the journalist raising the alarm about all of the lies that were told at the time by Team Harry and Meghan. There was a cover-up going on. Why would you cover up a royal birth? Why would you not be honest with the media? Why did they lie to other members of the royal family? Why did they lie to other courtiers? The whole thing stinks. It's weird. Look, Sam asks, on her YouTube channel, Lady C has mentioned several times that this spring there will be a revelation coming out about Harry and Meghan and that they will get some sort of comeuppance. Can you ask her if this is still on track to be revealed in the next few months?
Well, I think people ought to consider what I actually said. I said that matters would develop in such a way that Harry and Meghan would get their comeuppance, basically because various questions would be asked and various truths would surface. So if people expect, people need to keep their close to the ground and see that what's going on now could well be the beginning of the clearing up of all sorts of mysteries. I mean, Harry and Meghan have played a very destructive game where not only the British people are concerned, but our state, our constitutional structure. Because Meghan, one of the things they did was they amended Archie's birth certificate, and then she announced that she had done it at the instruction of the palace. And the palace said, no, she had done it at her own behest. Now, for legal reasons, there are certain things I cannot say at this time on this forum. But, you know, Meghan, if those children were not born by surrogacy, she has created the situation and caused people to believe that they could have been born by surrogacy. So this would be mischief-making of the highest order and extremely damaging to the royal family. So she has created what is effectively, they think, and everybody thinks, is a lose-lose situation. I don't think it's a lose-lose situation. I'm used to dealing with the Meghans of this world. And I can tell you something, it's dead easy to snatch victory out of what they think is the jaws of your defeat. And the royal family can do it really simply. All they need to do is come clean, because they have come clean with every other birth. Every other royal birth has been signed off by reputable doctors. These two births have not been signed off by anybody. If those children, we need the proof that those children popped out from Meghan and that they are of her eggs. Because
Exactly. And it's very simple to do.
British law requires not only that they come out of her body, but that they be of her body. So if they're implants from someone else, forget it, they're illegitimate. And in terms of succession to the throne. So, and as I say, I have nothing against adopted children or surrogate children. It's fine. I mean, I think however children come, they should be loved and cherished. But also, how unfair is it to those children that you have all of this speculation from before they were born, and this will follow them for the rest of their lives? The whole thing is the height of irresponsibility. And I'd like to see somebody at Buckingham Palace man up and woman up and just do what should be done. Clear up once and for all. The doctors and things. And remember, Meghan and Harry actually on their Netflix show actually showed a scan of Archie, if I remember correctly, except anybody who knows anything about prenatal scans will know that there are identifying features on that scan, all of which were removed. Why were they removed if that is a true scan of Archie? You see, these are the questions that need to be cleared up. This is the sort. There should be no room for mystery as to who is legitimately in the line of succession. And if there is a mystery, they should be removed from the line of succession. It's as simple as that. And the palace can do it very simply. And if they can't do it, then those children need to be removed, and the palace needs to come clean and say, sorry, we had nothing to do with this. But you see, that's the situation Meghan has maneuvered them into, where effectively, if those children were born of a surrogate, she has maneuvered them into a no-win situation. And because I know as a fact that there is no way that they would have gone along with any of that. And you and I both know enough behind the scenes to know that whatever happened, the palace found out about it after it had happened.
Oh, yeah. They had no idea. They had no idea, and they had no idea even when Archie was born and Harry and Meghan were members of the royal family. They had no idea why they were lying about the time of birth, why they lied about which hospital he was born in. They were pulling their hair out. They didn't understand it. It was really odd.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.